called, um, I've called Mr. Olalekon. I've called the barristers, the solicitor that I ensure that, is it possible to hand me over my keys? Let me leave this country. Because at the moment, the treatment we as a family are getting at the cost of this whole matter is inhuman. I don't know if we have a time to start from the 14th of February when this thing happened and up to date. I
Go
just
ahead.
want to give a.
I need to hear your story.
Yes. I was away to Nigeria. I spent 3 weeks plus. On 14th of February was the day I was returning back to Nigeria. At about 3 o'clock, my wife called me that, have I landed? I said yes. And she said she's on her way to go and pick the remaining 2 with our 2 kids that's not going to school. When she got there at about 3:10, she waited. The school used to close by 3:20. She waited up to 3:30. Our daughter is not forthcoming out. She inquired. One of the teachers said they are having discussion. She didn't tell her what discussion is all about, what is happening. She thought it's a normal general class discussion. And she spent hours, no one was talking to her. And she called me that, where am I now? And she's still in the school. She have not gotten our daughter. They said they're having discussions. I said, what kind of discussion up to this moment? Can you please find out what kind of discussion they're having? Because you have our 2 younger kids with you there. They need to go back home. So that was then. She now started calling them. No one was able to talk to her. They refused talking to her. They refused telling her what has happened. So I became worried. I was on the train coming back. I became worried. I have the school phone number. I called the school and I asked, what is happening to my daughter? My wife is out there and says no one is talking to her, and she have not seen our daughter. She said that someone will contact me. I said, why? What will someone will contact me? What is my daughter okay? Is she alive? Does she have injury? What is the problem? She just said someone will contact me and ended the call. And no one contacted me. I keep calling my wife. What is happening? She said she's as short of words as I am. She doesn't know. No one is talking to her. I said, try to approach them. She tried all she could. No one was talking to her until past 7. Someone came out and said one of the kids made a disclosure and they are having meeting. She now asked which of the kids and what was the disclosure. They now said they didn't talk to her that moment. They left her again. Then they came back and said, my daughter said that she's been beaten with stick and there are fresh marks on her body. And she's all the adults in the house beat her with stick, smack her, draw her ears when she didn't greet. She now said, okay, can I see the mark you are talking about? Because there's no mark on my daughter's body. And you say there's a fresh mark. They say you cannot see Osinachi at the moment. You say, okay, can I at least have a picture of the mark you're talking about? If it's something I can remember and explain to you, they say, no, that is not possible. And they left her. So and I called the school back again. They said the same thing to me, that someone will contact you. I said, what is happening first? Let me hear my daughter's voice. I know that she's okay. What is happening? She ended the call. And there's nothing I could do. I called back my wife and asked her, have you seen? She now told me that this is what they said. I said, why? What is happening? Can you call someone to see how they can assist you? Before I dropped the call, they walked to her again and said, when I dropped the call, they walked to her and now told her that we have to take the remaining 2 from you. She said, you can't take my keys away from me like that. Not just adding these 2. What is the problem? What happened? He said, she now said, okay, can I call my husband before I can decide? It's okay, you can call your husband. Within a few minutes, she said police came around and they take away the keys from her. So when she called me, she was just crying. She hadn't even told me that they wanted to take this. She was just crying that they have taken away from her. and they are leaving. And that was around 9 o'clock. So she was in the school from 9 o'clock, from 3:10 to 9 o'clock when they collected these keys. Nobody communicated to me. Even at a point, I was on phone with her. I requested to talk with any of them around there, even the police, even the social workers. They said no, they are not going to talk to me. They said no. They know that nobody will. They refused. I even had to call one of my colleagues to go there and see if his presence can make them talk to me. Let me know what is happening. They said no. So they took away my keys. It took them. That thing happened on Wednesday. All through that remaining days of that week, we didn't see our children until the next week, Tuesday, after court sitting, before court sitting. Before court sitting. And that was when we now, it's more than 9 days, yeah. Because after the first court sitting, they didn't allow us to see our kids until before the second sitting. That was now they allowed to see the children that day before the court sitting. Prior to that court sitting, we were meant to sign Section 20, which we signed because we are advised that we have no option at the moment to sign. We signed it, but when we get home, we realized that we are being cajoled to do something that we rope us. They told us not to sign initially. The solicitor we got before now told us not to sign. That with what they have said and with what we have said, that is not enough to take away the keys. That since they use a police protection to take the keys, after 72 hours, they have no option than to return our keys back home while they now continue the investigation and all that. But when we get there, we couldn't even see. We didn't enter the courtroom. We didn't hear anything. Even up to that moment, we didn't know the details of what is transpiring between our daughter and them. So they came back and said, okay, at the moment, the judge is interested in what the child is saying. So the only option is to sign the Section 20 until the next hearing, which is next week, Tuesday. So because they told us that there was no option, and we don't have much information, we don't have anyone on our side, we have to sign that Section 20. The next hearing, the judge they went ahead to apply for interim order. Without communication, nothing. They didn't tell us what happened. They now apply for an interim order, which the judge granted them with the reason that there may be possibility of we trying to remove the child from contact. After commending us that he has been observing us, we have shown good character, we have been calm, we have been cooperating. And at the end of the commending, he now said, okay, but there are possibility, so it's rare, but to avoid trauma for people, because if we try to remove them, police will be involved and all that. So it will traumatize the children, and he doesn't want that to happen. So he gave them the order, and they now put another hearing on the 19th. So since 14th of February up to date, they have my children, and from the first contact up to this moment, it's been so heavy for me and my kids, because we have never been apart for a minute. If I'm away, we're always on phone. They've been crying, they want to come back home. But the smallest one, which is 1 year plus, and the 3 year plus, and those snatching, and the other two, they're always crying that they want to come back home. They want to come back home. Up to point, the last visit last week, my daughter was shouting at them. I have the record that you said you want to keep me safe. You said you want to help me. Is it by taking me away from my family? Is it by taking me away from the people I love? Is that how you do? That my prayer and my wish for you is that you'll be taken away from your family, you'll be taken away from your people you love. And my fear now is that, just to cut the whole story short, my fear now is that I am scared that my daughter may try to escape. And if she does that, she may lose. She have told my wife to come to school, that she will run out and follow her and come back home. She have done that. She have tried to collect my phone yesterday that she wants to call the police to come and rescue her from there. And the picture, the video you watch, that has how it has already, even today. And I don't know what to discuss because they were asked not to discuss anything with them concerning this. And they keep telling my daughter that she's not coming back home. They keep telling my children that they are the foster carers are now telling my children to call them daddy and mommy. That they are their mommy. To the point my 3-year-old boy told me that you are my real daddy. You are my real daddy. So all these things, I don't know why. Up to now, well, second, the one I forgot to mention is that we are handed 2 weeks ago. We are handed to a new social worker team. According to them, up to this one, as I speak to you, no one has contacted us that they are the new social worker handling our case. We only go to contact. They watch us for 1 hour, and once it's time, they say they hurry us up and ask us to go, and we leave. Nobody's telling us what we are into, what is happening, the next stage, what is actually the gravity of the case, what is happening, what they intend to do. Nobody's telling us anything as we speak.
Thank you very much. Oh, we've got another family here. He is the one that will talk about the case with adopted child. But before then, do you want to quickly, in a very small, simple way, yeah, what do you need from Nigerian community group?
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Olalikon, for your support so far. You've been very helpful. I would want to appeal because at the moment, even watching or hearing news about foster carer and care home, is that it has been something that I've not really put words together to really understand until it happened to my children. Because when they were taken to foster homes. Then after the assessment was done for a family member, they were not taken to the family member. We saw a huge difference of how they told them lies and all of that. So the family member presently is trying to also correct those lies they've been told. But the fear of that family member is, one, they've not really been getting support from the local authority. She's just been frustrated. Things that they're supposed to do, they've not done for her, and they've also told lies. She was even certain things that is happening. So she went to this my family friend for about during February, they were on midterm break. After midterm break, the kids have not been in school. So that made my friend to be out of work so she could also concentrate on the children, and it was a toll on her family. So because of that, as other things, she had to terminate the placement, that she won't be able to help. She gave us till Friday for them to come pick our kids back. So we want to appeal. So when we heard that, we had to quickly look for alternative. The next option, which is to vacate our property for a family member to come and stay with, but we don't have anyone because they've accepted our request for us to vacate our property. But what they're asking for now is that adult that would be able to care for our children so that they can assess that person. So that's where we are now. So really,
can you just in 2 minutes? Where are you now?
Yeah, good morning. I'm talking about my daughter. I have a boy and a girl, and my boy is a year and 8 months, and my girl is 2 years and 7 months. So the problem is that my daughter was first born, and I follow up any necessary things concerning the social worker. I've been obedient. I follow them very well. I do everything they ask me to do. Then when my son now come out to this world, then I still going to court with them. And my daughter is still with the foster carer. And after my son now come out, I went to a place in Eford for 3 months, me and my son, which I break the record there. So then told me I'm the only man that was here that break the record, that I did well, which we went back to court. They now give me my son. And with my son right away as I'm talking to you. But concerning my daughter, they have been delaying for a long time since ever then, my daughter, because they said I have to wait until my son come out before my daughter case. So which I did. Then after my son case now, and my daughter case. So I did assessment. I was positive, and I have a sister, my biological sister. She's a nurse here, and I'm staying with her. She was assessed, which is positive as well. So we went back to court on December, and the judge now ruled they should bring my daughter back home on 6th of November. So between that 6th of November, after that court to them to do the pressment order. So the foster carer now went and applied for adoption, and which the court now ruled the adoption, because what happened to the court that day was very, very, I was very confused, but I thank God that I still stand strong. So they are with my daughter now, and the foster carer is adopted. So I have opportunity to see my daughter 3 times in a week, 1 at my home and 2 at the contact center. So the foster carer and the guardian, they are all Jamaicans. So the guardian is doing everything possible to make sure that my daughter takes away for adoption. And which I told them that I can never allow that. I keep on fighting with them. But the placement order and the handover at the contact, the foster carer refused to do it at the initial time, but later agreed to do it. But when we start the handover, she was like, nagging and behaving somehow, which I keep reporting to the observation people that I'm with. So right now, as I'm seeing this case at the way it is, I contacted MP, which MP have been following me on this case for a long time ago, and the MP now write to them to make sure that they return my daughter back home. And my daughter love me so much, and I care for her. Each time I come, each time 2 of them meet together, him and his brother, they started crying when they want to separate them. My daughter always calling me, Daddy, come, let's go, come, let's go. So I don't know what is their problem is right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, because I need to go to another meeting now. So very